is too expensive. What to do about the rising cost of college here in the United States? Hello, my name is David Baxter. I'd like to address what we can do as both concerned citizens and students about the rising cost of college here in the U.S. College is too expensive. When I finish my speech, you, my audience, will be persuaded to petition the government to help lower college costs. I'm personally affected by the rising cost of college, both as a parent of a college student and also as an adult returning to college. I'd like to investigate the rising cost of college, look at how other countries address their higher education costs, look at ways to realistically lower costs in the United States, and then petition the government to help lower college costs. The cost of college has been rising faster than the rate of inflation. Some statistics show that college is increasing almost 8 times faster than wages. Student loans make up the largest chunk of U.S. non-housing debt, as stated in a Forbes article from 2018. This is more than cars and more than credit cards. The increase in cost of college, plus the lack of wage growth, is equaling record levels of debt. According to the National Center of Educational Statistics, per the same Forbes article, the average cost for all four-year educations came out to be over $26,000 a year in 2016, which brought that four-year total in 2016 up over $104,000. This compared to the same four-year total in 1989 was $26,900 or $52,800 if you adjust for inflation, meaning that the cost of college has doubled between 1989 and 2016. Another statistic shows that the cost of college has been rising 4 to 6% a year, year over year, since the year of 2000 until our current time. Let's take a look at wage growth. The Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis shows the average growth went up about 0.3% a year from 1989 to 2016. If you compare the statistics, college costs went up about 3% a year between 1989 and 2016, while wage growth went up about 0.3% at the same time. So by those statistics, college costs are going up 10 times faster than wages. Federal student loans have helped fuel the rise in college tuition. Let's ask why. Why have student loans helped fuel the rise in college tuition? As with typical supply and demand, as prices rise, demand may gradually decrease. But with the case of the government providing loans for colleges that people could not typically afford, colleges in turn raise the cost of tuition. And as borrowing increases, some borrowers may not be able to pay back the loans. So what can we do to help lower the cost of college here in the United States? First, let's look at how other countries do it. Europe has a higher tax base and a lower percentage of the population. The current U.S. tax burden is over 30%, according to an article from Business Insider. Taxes would have to be increased from there in order to cover the cost of tuition. The same source describes Germany as having a much higher tax base. Germans pay 49.3% in taxes and a lower number of students attend college. 62% of students in Germany pursue a tertiary education compared to 94% of students in the United States. Please note that the higher taxes in Germany and other European countries are also due to socialized healthcare as well as socialized education. If we talk about Finland, Finland has a tight 33% acceptance rate. In all of its country's citizens pay the cost. An article from the National Review describes the most prestigious and discriminating colleges in the United States as having a tight 33% acceptance rate. The 33% acceptance rate in Finland is the same across all of its universities. Finland ranks in the bottom third of developed countries attaining a college education, while the United States ranks in the top third. China, too, keeps its college costs down through large government subsidies, and its schools are also very highly competitive. Socialized education probably isn't the answer to the high cost of education here in the United States, else we would all be paying higher taxes and only a select few of us would be able to get into college. The U.S. government can become part of the solution to the high cost of college here in the U.S. rather than being part of the problem. Let's look at some ways we can lower college costs. We can tax university endowments. According to taxpolicy.org, a small number of colleges and universities in the United States have accumulated significant wealth in the form of endowments. Because these institutions are public and private, non-profitable charitable enterprises, donations to their endowments are not taxed and their assets grow free of taxes. We can create transparency in publishing costs. We could have each college disclose the average dollar amount they spend in education for each student. We can restrict access to student loans. We can offer cheaper financing. And we can have minimum tax payments for students paying back their loans. The government can require colleges to limit annual tuition prices or threaten to take away their tax-exempt status. We can require colleges to not increase their sticker price more than the Consumer Price Index. The Consumer Price Index is a measure of the changes of goods and services over time. It's a monetary measure of the price changes of goods and services over a period of time. So we could take our issues to the government. I'm going to be presenting these links to my audience as a means to petition the government to drive change in the college costs. The PowerPoint presentation will be shared with everyone. You can use these links to petition both your local and federal governments to address the cost of college. Also, keep in mind these same links can be used to petition the government to help drive change in any issue you may be concerned about. Thank you for your time. Thank you for listening, and let's help try to lower the cost of college. Thank you.